He right away said it's probably parvo because parvo is running rampant right now.
Parvo is such a vicious disease that it would have ran rampant through the rest of the puppies in the store.
Hannah became ill within 5 days after giving her. She gave it to our healthy dog.
That's completely unreasonable.
If you want to fight, I can get you boxing gloves, but we're not here for that. My first case ever with worms.
Come here, Sophie. Get him, Rusty.
Can I say something?
No. If she hadn't had an oral agreement. How do you do? Morning.
Morning.
I know you've all been sworn, and I have read your complaint, ma'am. You purchased both of these dogs from the defendant?
Yes, I did. They're
what-
sisters.
Pardon?
They're sisters.
They're
yes.
sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one is named what?
Casey.
Casey. And when did you buy him?
I bought her on February 9th,
For how much?
$38.
Okay. And you took him to a vet?
I took her to a vet 2 days afterwards, and she was examined, and she was found to be in very good health other than roundworm, which we treated her for.
And when did you buy the second dog?
Thursday, February 26th,
How much did you pay for it?
$20.
And what are you claiming is wrong with the dogs?
Well,
We're contending that the defendants sold us a sick dog. This dog,
Which dog?
Hannah.
the second dog, Hannah.
Hannah?
Hannah.
She had been exposed to a very deadly, usually fatal disease called parvovirus. Within
When did you find that out?
Within 5 days after we purchased her.
Who told you that?
Our vet.
Do you have an affidavit
Yes,
from him?
we do.
Do you have his records?
Yes.
Yes,
May I have them?
please give them to the judge.
You have an assistant.
Yes. Inside are all the receipts and records of what they were treated for.
Dogs that have parvo have a characteristic odor. When we got this dog home, the first dog, her sister, attacked her. She seemed to know that this dog was ill. By the end of the evening of the first day we had her, she was very lethargic. She smelled very bad. We called B&M Pets and talked to Bill, and he said, put perfume on her. Very often a sister dog will attack another one. Later on, we were told by animal control that all pet dealers know that there is a characteristic parvo odor. It's very obvious and very recognizable.
What is it like?
It's foul odor. It's a very
Foul?
sour odor.
Is that right, sir?
Yes, it's almost a rotten, dead smell.
Did they tell you that?
No, they did not.
What did they tell you that?
That's a lie.
Well,
We did tell him.
Okay. What did you say to them when they called?
I did not speak to them the first time, nor did they sell the dog. They had spoke to Bill. I talked to the plaintiffs one time, and I told them I'd have to discuss
What did they tell you first about the dog?
That they thought the dog was sick, and that they had taken it to a vet, and they were having it treated.
Did they tell you that it was a foul odor?
No, they did not say nothing about odor.
Did you tell them to put perfume on the
No,
dog?
I did not.
Bill did.
Bill did.
We spoke only
All right,
with Bill.
wait a minute. Your name is Bill?
Yes.
Did you tell him to put perfume on the dog?
That was for the change of the dog. They were taking the dog to the new place where she was first. The first dog was. And that would change the smell and put them together. I wasn't talking about no parvo smell. I thought it was odor like something on the dog, because there's colognes for the dogs that you can get that can help the scents on the dog, because some dogs have a stronger odor than others, which
How
is
long have you been
normal.
involved with selling dogs?
12 years. This is the
And
first
you,
one
sir,
I ever
how
had.
long?
Probably approximately 15 years.
The day the dog actually became sick, I called Bill, and he right away said it's probably parvo because parvo is running rampant right now.
Yes.
Bring it in and I will give it an immunization. And I said, well, if the dog already has parvo, what good will it be to give it a vaccination? I took it to my vet.
We never ask anybody
No.
to bring them back for immunization. All these dogs are basically mutts that have been either given to us free, and we are selling them for the price of the vaccinations they've already had. And there's also store policy not to refund or
Well, maybe
give you
your store
anything.
policy, but did you communicate that to them?
Huh?
No, we were told
Wait a minute. Did you communicate the
I
store
didn't-
policy to them?
Didn't communicate. As I'm trying to say, Mr. Enos handled most of the talking and
Did you
transactions.
communicate that to them about the store policy?
Yes, I did, sir.
How did you do it?
I told them about the policy of the store. We do all
What
the
did you tell them about the policy?
We do all the shots and the worms and the dogs. At that time, I was happy for her to have them because it was a sister. We try to keep brothers and sisters together if they come in together.
No, I want to know what you told them about the store policy.
About the warranty and thing that is up on the wall. She looked at it. The daughter looked at it
What
herself.
warranty was on the wall? Is that the
Your Honor,
warranty?
yes.
That's
These
the
are
warranties.
posted in the store, but we do not warranty or refund money on
What
live
is that?
animals.
That big one is posted?
This
Yes.
is up on the wall behind
And
the
there
counter.
is more.
And there's more of them, but this small one is been taped. I just removed it. It's been taped in front of the cash register counter.
Who spelled warranty that way?
I did. I probably spelled it wrong.
Yeah, you spelled it wrong.
Okay.
I asked them specifically if we could bring these
Now, I
dogs
want to
in.
know, I want to go back, please,
Okay.
to this alleged warranty. Did they point this out to you when you bought the
Never.
dogs?
There was no warranty.
received-
Did you
No.
read,
Absolutely
did
not.
you read those?
No, we didn't see those. They weren't posted conspicuously. We were given no documentation as to the dog's heritage, how old they were, or even
They are
what
mutts
they
that have been
are.
abandoned on our doorstep. There
you-
can
you've
be
got-
no paperwork.
You've got $1,235.83 for Casey, which you said was, Casey was fine.
She was
She'd be-
fine.
All right, what is this for?
Because
These are
Hannah
medical bills.
Hannah became ill within 5 days after giving her. She gave it to our healthy dog. The day after we brought Hannah home from the hospital, this one had it, and this one got quite a
Much
worse case
sicker.
than Hannah did. And
Are they both fine now?
yes, thank goodness.
They'd have died without massive medical intervention, including
Your Honor,
IVs.
I asked her when she called me about the dog, I asked her to bring the dog so I could have it tested. She never brought
That's-
the dog.
No.
That
Never
is
brought it.
untrue.
I talked to your mother and I did so. God is my witness. I asked her to come and bring
You
that dog.
told me you
now,
were-
none of the dogs in our store that was still there got sick.
You told
He
us
unloaded
that
it.
I asked you to
Sir,
bring-
are you disputing the fact that these dogs had parvo?
If she said they do, then they did. But the day that
No,
she
the vet
bought
says they do.
it was plain, it was healthy. There was no way for me to know that it had parvo.
Yes.
Excuse
There
me,
was
but
no way.
when we called him
Could
to-
you tell if the dog did have parvo?
Yes, because it had bloody diarrhea, a stink stool, which is like diarrhea. The dog did not have that. I feed the dogs every
Dog
morning.
didn't have it before it left your shop.
No, it did
but it
not,
had
sir.
been infected.
What's the incubation period for
7 to
parvo?
10 days.
5 to 7 to 10 days.
7 to 14 days,
But-
according to the information I put in your pamphlet.
Okay. What,
See,
is,
I
what,
want-
what do you know about the incubation period for parvo?
I know that it decreases with the age of the puppy. They can get it a lot sooner. And generally, if one dog, say this dog was exposed in the store, parvo is such a vicious disease that it would have ran rampant through the rest of the puppies in the store.
One
It
of the
had.
sisters died.
There
in
were
the
three
case.
sisters.
That's how he got us to buy this
She's
dog. He
speaking
said
of
it had
some-
died of
it was
bloody
poison.
diarrhea and
Poison.
bloody vomit.
And bloody
Bloody
vomit.
disease.
And Your
Short
Honor,
recess, I'll come back and give you my decision.
Thank you.
Clean the aquarium, we bring out fish, we may change some of his equipment.
The area was full of smoke. The water was overflowing onto the wires.
It wasn't 20 minutes after his servicemen left that the fire started.
Remain seated and come to order. This court is again in session.
Casey was purchased, and the dog was taken to a vet and found to be fine. Hannah was purchased on February 26th. On March 5th, contracts parvo. So there's a general warranty. The defendant is liable for the bills incurred for Hannah. Insofar as Casey is concerned, Casey apparently contracts the disease from Hannah. Casey is the victim of the sale of a defective dog. The disclaimer that you're talking about, that's spelled improperly, but really is unimportant because of the misspelling, is valid only if it's pointed out to the plaintiffs, and I'm not convinced that it was. But I would suggest to you, sir, that if you try to use that disclaimer again, that in the receipt that you give people, and you should give them one, the sale is so much, we are not liable in any respect, there's no warranties, this is as is, this is a mutt, whatever. But put it in writing and get them to sign it. And then you have a contract. My judgment is for the plaintiff for 1973-16. The vet goes.
I wanted proof that the dog was sick. There was no proof. She never brought me no
Well,
paperwork.
there were veterinarian bills.
But you never brought them.
No, but you hung up on me. You called me a nasty old lady.
Because you asked
who,
for insurance. Insurance is
I
it. That's
asked
all
if
you wanted.
No,
but
you
never
didn't. You said our lawyer said that we're not responsible for any bills, and you hung up on me. You swore
That's a
at me
lie.
and
I was
hung up.
standing there during that conversation.
I would not do that.
We're
dog.
just
That's
glad
a
it's
lie.
over.
We're glad it's over.
But
and
now
we're-
you changed
We're not
it.
being
But you
compensated
said you
for all
talked
of
to me. That was
the
lies.
work.
It gets to point out, if this gets on TV, about how serious a disease parvo is and how people should take care of their dogs and follow through on their shots. And it's good to see that somebody took care of these dogs at least.
This is the best home these dogs could have ever had.
The Animal Court is now in session. The Honorable Joseph A. Wapner, judge presiding.
I know you've all been sworn. I have read your complaint, sir. You're suing for breach of an oral contract for taking care of his aquarium.
That's correct.
And this is your business?
I'm the manager of the business.
How long have you been in the business?
8 years.
When was this contract made, sir?
We started servicing him in November of 1997. At the end of April of 1998, he
Well,
gave...
how much was the monthly bill?
The bills varied, depending on what we provided. We clean the aquarium. We have an hourly rate for that, and then we bring out supplies. We bring out fish. We may change some of his equipment, change the bulbs, that sort of thing. The average bill was between $500 and $800 a month, I believe.
Well, you're suing for $18,1640.
That's correct.
How do you arrive at that?
That was arrived at because he owes me for 2 months. Those bills were approximately...
Do you have copies of those bills?
Yes, I do.
You've seen those, sir? Have you seen them?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Then you said something about in April. What happened?
At the end of April, I got a phone call from Joey, and he said that he wouldn't need us to service his aquariums anymore. His aquariums were in his home and in his office. And I asked him why, and he said he was moving, and that at some point he may need us again. And that was the last conversation I actually had with Joey directly until I see him today. But I have spoken with his office since then. I made numerous phone calls to collect the bills in May.
Did you send him the copies?
Oh yeah, he got copies of the bills.
Did he service you from November on, sir?
Yes, but I didn't terminate the services that way. When I called him, I told him I was dissatisfied with the service and I wouldn't be
Did you tell him what the dissatisfaction was?
No.
What was the
The
dissatisfaction?
dissatisfaction was there were 2 incidences at home. One, there was a fire at the house during the winter months one night, and there was another incident at home where I think was...
You claim he caused the fire?
Yes. The fire happened because the tank wasn't properly serviced and the water overflowed.
That's your conclusion, sir. Did you call the fire department?
No, I didn't. But I was woken up at 2 in the morning with the dogs barking and there was smoke.
I appreciate that, but I want to know,
I would like to
did
finish.
you hire an expert to look at the thing and to say that he caused the fire?
He caused it because...
No, sir, please.
I did not hire an expert, no.
That's what I asked
But my
you.
eyes can plainly see that the area was full of smoke. The water was overflowing onto the wires. It didn't take an expert to see that I needed to pull the plug out from the tank, which I did.
When did he service your home prior to the fire last?
I'm not quite sure. He would service it weekly.
What date of the fire?
I can't recall the
Didn't
exact
keep any
date.
records?
Not of the exact date of the fire, no.
Okay. So you don't know what he did in servicing it prior to the fire?
No, I'm not
Did you
sure.
call him and tell him there was a fire?
Yes, immediately.
When did you call him?
The next morning at
What was
8
the
a.m.
date?
The date was in the morning.
The
I do
date
not
was
have
in
a
the
date.
morning?
I do not have the date.
What month was it?
It was probably December.
Did he call you in December?
My records indicate that the incident occurred in November on 11/18/97.
Did you go out and look at what happened?
Yes, we went out and looked at it.
What did you
Some
find?
water had gotten onto a multiplex outlet where you plug in various electrical equipment. It was a saltwater aquarium. It shorted out the multiplex outlet. We replaced it that day. In fact, my records show that we replaced 3 of them. There were 3 of them
Did you
out
do
there.
anything to cause that fire?
Not that I know of, no. We were not there that day.
I
We were not there.
disagree, and I object.
Well, I know you disagree and you can object, but it won't do you any good. It doesn't make any difference.
Well, I have witnesses.
Witnesses to the fire?
Exactly.
And who are these people that are witnesses to the fire?
My wife, Debbie.
Okay. Debbie, are you an expert in aquariums and servicing aquariums?
No, sir.
What are you going to tell me about how the fire started?
To make a long story short,
Please.
the fish tank was on fire in the middle of the night. My whole house was full of smoke, and I was very frightened by that. On top of that, the other fish tank in our office a couple weeks later lit on fire, which never happened before we started using this company.
And they came out and fixed the problem? Okay.
We had 3 incidences altogether.
What was the second one?
The heater exploded in the tank, and we lost a lot of live coral and a lot of live fish at that time. I have a witness to that.
Did he
effect.
come out?
Yes.
Did he fix it?
He found out exactly what I said. He reported a broken heater in the tank.
A heater had broken in the tank.
Was that something that you did, sir?
No, we didn't do that. That was just a piece of equipment. I don't know why it broke.
I object.
It happens.
You can keep objecting all you want, sir, but you don't do that in a court. A lawyer might with an improper question, but number one, we don't have any lawyers here, so I listen to everything.
First of all, this equipment is not equipment that we provided. It was existing on the aquarium when we started servicing it in November.
I disagree.
Did he provide the heater?
Yes, he did.
When did he provide the heater?
He provided all the equipment in the tank.
What evidence do you have that he provided the heater?
He provided a slew of equipment, including
Sir,
a thermometer.
the heater, just the heater.
Thermometer, $4.99.
Just the heater.
That's the heater. It's a thermometer.
Thermometer's a heater?
No, it's not.
I never heard of such a thing. Okay, what's the third incident?
The third incident, we had a fire in the office as well.
When was that?
In April.
Okay.
And that's when I said 3 strikes, you're out.
You didn't call him to come out to find out why the fire started?
Carrie was a witness at that time. She's my bookkeeper. She
No,
was
I
at the
said,
office.
did you call him to ask?
She was there. I did not call. Carrie called.
Did you call?
Yes, I did immediately.
And did they come out?
About 4 or 5 hours later.
Did you go out there?
Yes, except it wasn't in April. My records indicate it was in February.
Okay, and what happened in February?
Again, there was a multiplex outlet in an existing aquarium that he had in his office. I believe what happened then is that somehow he has a protein skimmer, which is a type of filter on the back of the aquarium, and a tube had gotten loose and leaked water out on the multiplex outlet behind it.
Did you do something that caused the tube to be loose?
No, we didn't.
Excuse me?
Yes, ma'am.
His serviceman had just left. I was in the office. It wasn't 20 minutes after his serviceman left that the fire started.
Do you have the records of the serviceman?
Yes, I have the serviceman's records.
Is he still working for you?
Yes, he is. I have his records. The date I indicate for that fire is, or it wasn't a fire, it was a multiplex outlet that shorted out. It was on 2/26/98.
Now, you have a tape?
I have a tape. This is
all right, let me see it.
Okay.
Is there sound on the tape?
There is no sound.
Well, then you explain what we're looking at.
Okay. This is a picture of a reef aquarium. It's not Mr. Grossman's aquarium, but I didn't know. I just wanted to show you what's involved in a reef. There's live rock, there's live corals, there's fish that swim around. If a heater is located within the tank, the fish could potentially knock that heater. It is just a fact of life. They sometimes do get banged. Those are some clownfish, and those are some living corals, polyps, and mushrooms. These are just, this is what we're talking about in terms of the kind of aquariums that Mr. Grossman had.
Young lady, you're here for a purpose?
Yeah.
What do you want to tell me?
Well, the only thing I really saw is, well, all the corals were turning all brown and they were all dying. And the fish had, were dying too. Everything was just dying.
You're a nice young lady. We'll take a short recess. I'll come back, give you my decision.
Remain seated and come to order. This court is again in session.
The question here is, was the plaintiff negligent in servicing the tank? Because he performed the services, you agreed to pay him for the services. If he was negligent in performing his services and he caused you certain fires and certain damage, then you wouldn't have to pay him, or you could get an offset. He serviced your tanks from November 97 till April of 98. You had 2 fires. He came out after both of them, apparently fixed what was wrong. There's no evidence or no proof whatsoever that what his serviceman did caused those fires. In the law, what you're relying on is a doctrine called res ipsa loquitur. It's a Latin term, means the thing speaks for itself. But it wouldn't apply here. It's not applicable. You've got to, in this case, it's technical. You've got to show that something that he did or his serviceman did caused these fires, that you had a reason for not paying him. You've shown me absolutely nothing. I consider the credibility of the witnesses who testify. I consider the demeanor and the manner in which they testify, the character and quality of the testimony, the extent of the capacity of the witness to perceive or to recollect about anything about which he testifies. You don't seem to recall anything, sir. It's all vague. I think it'd been better off perhaps if your bookkeeper had testified about all the dates and everything else, but you didn't seem to know anything about what happened. You didn't remember, you didn't keep any records. Judgment is for the plaintiff for $1,789.56.
I felt that I did have evidence.
I feel that the ruling was very, very fair. I prevailed, but I feel that the evidence was strongly in my favor.
The dogs were just going nuts, and they finally roused me out of sleep and got me to go look, and the whole place was smoking and there was flames coming out of the fish tank, and I was just scared out of my mind, and thank God Joey got up and put out the fire.
Really, I just pulled the plug and it stopped. It was really as simple as it was. Although it was frightening, I was scared. I mean, it was like sparks coming out, and it was scary.
What I would really like to say to Joey is that if there is a future time where either working with us or working with someone else and damage does occur to an aquarium, present that information at the time to the company, and to hear something 7 or 8 months after the fact is just disturbing to me.
The fact that I didn't answer the way he would like me to answer, I think, if he feels that that's the reason why he needs to make a decision, that's his prerogative. But I think the ruling by Judge Wapner was unfair, and I thought he was very impatient with listening, because it was obvious I had the evidence, and he didn't look at it.